even when you're not around.
Hey guys, this is Amy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a very exciting video, as you have already noticed from the title of the video as well as the intro of the video. It's gonna be this gown tutorial, and I am absolutely in awe of how I created this, and in so simple steps. It's a perfect evening gown for marriage functions, and it's perfect for events as well if you do like to attend them. Full gown for an evening party. This gown is just meant for that, and so yeah, it's super easy to create. So without any further ado, let's get started.
So before I make the pattern on the brown paper, I'm going to explain everything on this white paper, as I already made the brown paper pattern, so I have to explain it to you guys. So that's why I'm doing it on the white paper. So imagine this is your brown paper and it has a fixed width, so you have to make sure you match the width with the length as well to get a perfect square. Now once it's a square, measure your waistline where your bottom portion will start. So add 8 inches to it for the seam allowance, that is 1 inch for each panels or cully, whatever you want to call it, for the gown, and then divide the answer by 6.28. Whatever answer you get, mine came out to be 6 inches approx, so I just marked it on two sides of the square like this in one corner. Then make a midpoint of that too, that is 6 inches in my case. Here I'm doing with small measurements, that is in centimeter, but in brown paper you will have to make the exact measurements, that is in inches, and then join the 3 points in a curved line. Now since the brown paper as well as this paper has limited length and width, so just mark the length you want for your gown plus 1 inch for seam allowance from the marked curve. Like here I have about 15 centimeter of length remaining on the white paper, so either you can mark the second curve from that first curved line by placing the measuring tape over the first curved line and then marking around with 15 centimeter, or add the above 6 inch that we just made and it will become 21, and then just mark a curved line of 21 inch length by placing the measuring tape on the corner of the square, which is more convenient. That is, you have to place it on the corner of the square like so, and mark the second curved line. I have already explained this circle skirt pattern many times, so in my previous DIYs you must have watched it. If you're new, then all the links will be in the description box, so you don't get confused. In those tutorials I've explained everything, so just check them out. Now once the two curves are ready, cut them out, and that's it. Simple, right? Just do the same thing on the brown paper with actual inch measurements. I'm again showing you how I got my waist measurements, just trying to clear everything out, guys. So yeah, see, my waist is 30 here, and I added 8 inch for seam allowance of cullies, and then divided 38 with 6.28, and then I got 6 inches approx, and that's what I marked for the first curve line. For the length I want about 45 inches, but since the brown paper only had 18 inch length in it, I cut that much only, and then made the second curved line and cut them out, just like we did for the white paper. So if you have wide enough fabric of length of 45 inch at least to fit in, then you can keep this pattern, that is just the one we cut out, over the fabric and cut 4 pieces out, or fold the fabric from one side and cut 2 big semicircles like I did for the circle Lehenga tutorial. Again, that link will be in the description box. But since I don't have that wide fabric, so I'm gonna fold this piece into half, and then instead of 4 pieces I'm gonna cut 8 cullies from this pattern. The fabric I'm using here is 9 meter long, and it costed me about 400 rupees. Is of crepe material. Spread the fabric open and lay it flat, and then place the pattern over it and fold it into half like so, and pin it in place so that it's easy to mark and cut. Now here, as you can see, I marked everything, and starting from waist I left a bit of seam allowance there as the pattern didn't had it, and then I marked the side seams and didn't leave any extra allowance for that, as we already added 8 inches of seam allowance in total when we marked the waist. And since this was just 18 inches of length and we want 45 inches in total, I extended the line that much for the total length in need, which is 45 inch on both sides like so. And for the bottom curve line, I just placed the measuring tape on the waist, pin it, and then pinned it down and measured 45 inch like that in the middle, and went the same way all over to create a perfect curved line like so. Then just cut the piece out, and here you have to cut 7 more pieces like this. Then all you have to do is join all the pieces together one by one from their sides to make a perfect circle like this. As you can see, they are all attached to one another from their sides, and that is the waist circle. And finish this piece by hemming the bottom edge and keep it aside. Now for the bodice pattern, take a brown paper, again fold it into half, and then take a tank top of yours and fold that into half as well. And then keep the folded side of the tank top over the folded side of the paper, and then mark the neckline, shoulder, and as well as the armhole and side seams like so. Then take your marker and bring out the line from armholes midpoint like this, and join that extended line from an extended line of the neckline. For the length of the top, starting from the shoulder line, I'm taking about 17 inches, but it totally depends on your need. Plus I added 0.5 inch of seam allowance, and then at that seam allowance point drew a straight line. Then measure how much your waist came out to be. Mine is about 8 inch here, and yours should be your waist divided by 4 plus 0.5 inch of seam allowance. Since mine is 30 and divide that by 4, I got 7.5, then added 0.5 inch, and that becomes 8. Then I'm adding 2 inches extra on the waist for darts like so, and then join the armhole point to the extended waistline like this. Now cut it out, and this is how the piece should look like once it's cut. Now this is the only pattern you need for this gown's bodice, as we will create front and back both from this piece only. Now from this left out part, we will cut our neckline collar piece pattern as well. Just extend the neckline in a curved manner, joining the neckline with the shoulder line, and then draw another line and join with shoulder line again to create a perfect collar, and then cut it out. Now I wrote fold on one side, which means I have to fold the fabric into half, then cut the front and back neckline, which you'll see later. Now take the leftover fabric, fold it into half like so, and place the bodice pattern over the folded side of the fabric and pin it down. And just trace out the pattern. That's all you have to do. Now you don't need to leave any seam allowance here, but I'm doing it in my armhole and side seams just to be careful, but it's not necessary. Then cut it out and remove the pattern, unfold the fabric, and you have your front part ready. Then repeat the same steps for the back piece, but with a little difference, and that is leave an inch to the folded side, as we will be adding a zipper. Then once cut, here is how your back piece should look like. Now to make the darts, fold the piece into half, both front and back, but here I'm showing you the back piece for an example. Take your measuring tape and mark 3 inch on the waistline from the folded side, and then here I'm adding 8 inch as I measured it on myself, that is from the waistline to the tip of my bust, which was 8 inch. So you have to measure yours and mark it. Then join these 2 points with a straight line, and then add half inch marks on both sides of the waistline mark. Then join those points with the bust point as well. Now to make the second dart exactly the same, all you have to do is just trace these points on the other side like this and join those points too. Now repeat the steps on the front bodice as well, and then I'm making 2 arm darts as well for the front. For that, measure the armhole, and since it's not the full armhole yet, I'm just gonna take 3 inches from the bottom side of the armhole and mark it. And then from that mark, draw a mark of again 3 inches going towards the bust dart, and draw a straight line and 0.25 inch marks on both sides of the first mark, and join those with upper mark to make a dart. And repeat the same for the second armhole dart, and then just stitch the darts, and for that bring both the outer slant lines together and stitch over it. And this is how it should look like once done. Now since the fabric is not super thick, I'm cutting out one more front and back to act as a lining, and for that pin down the front and the back over the leftover fabric and cut out the patterns. Super simple, right? So place both the lining and the main, that is the front part, together wrong sides out, and stitch the armhole and the neckline together. And once stitched, flip the right sides of the fabric and the lining out and pop out the corners, and your front is almost done. Now do the same with the back piece, and always remember to top stitch over such joined pieces so that the fabric doesn't curl up. Now once the back is done, fold it into half and cut it into 2 pieces. Yep. And then keep right sides together, and then do a loose stitch to join the 2 pieces again. Once done, press the seam open and pin the zipper on the seam like we always do and stitch over it. Once that is done, rip open the loose stitch we did earlier to reveal the zipper. Now join both the front and back by placing them right sides together. Stitch the side seams up to make the top almost complete. Now final step is the collar, and for that take your pattern, place it over a folded fabric like I said earlier, and mark it on the fabric, leaving a bit of seam allowance, and that is also up to your choice. And you can extend the neckline as much as you want. For safety, I would suggest you to go for it and don't hesitate, so that you don't run out of fabric when you stitch it down, and then cut it out. Cut total of 4 such pieces for front and back and their lining as well, just the way we did for the bodice. Then take 2 pieces and join them together from the upper curve. Once done, do a top stitch over it to give it a proper shape like this. Now stitch the bottom curve together. Once done, flip the right side of the collar out. Once the both front and back collar is ready, bring your top out and first place the front collar over the front neckline, overlapping just a little neckline, and pin it in place. Do the same with the back neckline and stitch the collar strap in place, but leave the shoulder open for now, and then just attach the top waist to the waist of your bottom part, which I have showed many times on how to do. So please check other videos of gowns or skirts. If you are new here, all I did was just stitch both the pieces together from their wrong sides. Also in the end, stitch the shoulders together after wearing the gown to know how much length you need. Here is an optional part on decorating the gown. You can either decorate the gown's bodice with these stones using fabric glue, or you can attach embroidery pieces if you can get any, which is more convenient. But since I didn't get any at store, so I went ahead and bought this net fabric with embroidery on it, and all I did here was cut the roses out with a scissor. Once cut, this is how mine look like. Then I just simply arranged the roses the way I liked and pasted them with fabric glue. Lots of fabric glue. And I didn't record this as it was difficult to do in front of the camera, so I'm just going to show you how I did the pasting by doing just one last flower piece. So simply apply some glue on the back of the flower and paste it on the fabric like so and press it down. Now you can stitch the pieces by hand in place once you pasted them, but it is again optional, but as I will be giving the gown for dry cleaning. If you are gonna wash it in your washing machine then or by hand, for that you have to stitch the embroidery down, as the fabric glue will melt away when it's mixed with water. And that's it.
So that was it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button, share with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell button so that you never miss any future videos from me, because I am gonna create so many bomb videos that you are not supposed to miss. So make sure that you are here every Sunday at 8 p.m. sharp. So today's feature goes out to Arun, Shiny and Jayashree. Thank you so much, guys, for your lovely comments. I really appreciate all of them. And since we have crossed 250k, and I just wanna thank you guys so much for that, and I keep on thanking you guys. I know I thanked you in my previous video as well, but I really am grateful for all the love you guys giving me. Hope you guys are finding my videos useful and easy and innovative as well. If you have any suggestions, do leave them in the description box, because I would love to do them if I can. And by the way, here is Bella. I know you guys haven't seen her before, so here is she. If you also want to get featured, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell button, and comment down below if you also have a dog, or if you love a dog or a cat. Which pet do you prefer the most, dog or cat? I personally love dogs, as you might have noticed already. I have 3 dogs with me, and I do love cats, but I am a bit scared of them, of them scratching me and bleeding me to death. So yeah, that's what I'm scared of. But if you are a cat lover, I would love to know that as well. So do let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to follow me on my Instagram page, that is right over here. This is how my feed looks like. I'm actually trying out with this, new color theme. I hope I can do that, although I'm not good at editing like a serious professional types. Not that good. But yeah, I'm trying out something good. So just make sure that you hit that follow. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.